Hey everyone, welcome to our discussion. Today we're diving headfirst into the wild world of artificial intelligence. I've got this awesome article and it's basically a history lesson on AI from its super early days to where we are now. Ready to go back in time with me?
Absolutely. AI's history is fascinating, full of unexpected twists and turns. It's not just about robots taking over the world, it's a story of human ingenuity and persistent problem solving.
So like way back when, before AI was even a thing, what were some of the key ideas that laid the groundwork for everything we see today?
Well, even ancient Greek philosophers were thinking about logic and reasoning, ways to formalize thought. Then, much later, people like Charles Babbage and Ada Lovelace started dreaming up mechanical computers. Lovelace even imagined machines doing more than just calculations, a pretty amazing leap of imagination for the time.
Wow, that's crazy. So it wasn't just about gears and steam power?
Nope. In the early 20th century, mathematicians like Alan Turing with his famous Turing machine and Turing test really nailed down the theoretical foundations of computation and what it means for a machine to be intelligent.
Okay, so we've got the building blocks. When did AI officially become a field?
That would be in 1956 at the Dartmouth Workshop. That's where the term artificial intelligence was first used. Everyone was super optimistic. They thought AI would be everywhere in no time.
And were they right? Did it all happen super fast?
Not exactly. There were some early successes, like the logic theorist program that could prove mathematical theorems, but there were also limitations. Early AI relied heavily on symbolic AI, which is basically programming in rules and knowledge. It worked okay for simple things, but it struggled with real-world complexity.
So like a bit of a bump in the road?
You could say that. The 1970s saw the first AI winter, a period of reduced funding and interest because progress wasn't as fast as everyone had hoped.
Ouch. What happened next? Did AI just disappear?
No, it didn't disappear, but it did go through some changes. Expert systems became popular for a while. These were AI systems designed for specific tasks, like a medical diagnosis, but even those had limitations.
So another winter?
Yep, another AI winter hit in the late 1980s and early 1990s. But this time, something new was brewing. Neural networks.
Neural networks, those sound complicated.
They are inspired by the human brain, and they're really good at pattern recognition, but they were computationally expensive back then.
So what changed?
A few things. First, we got a lot more data, the internet exploded. Second, computers got well faster. And third, we developed better algorithms for training these networks.
And that led to?
The deep learning revolution. Deep learning uses very deep neural networks, and it's been responsible for huge breakthroughs in image recognition, natural language processing, and more.
So deep learning is like the current hotness?
It's definitely a major player right now. We're seeing amazing things like generative AI systems that can create art, write stories, and even compose music.
That's wild. But what about the future? What are some of the big challenges and opportunities facing AI?
Well, there's the quest for artificial general intelligence, AGI, AI that's as smart as a human in every way. That's still a long way off. We also need to think about the ethical implications of AI, making sure it's used responsibly and doesn't cause harm.
So like robot overlords are still a ways off?
Hopefully. But seriously, we need to be mindful of bias in algorithms, job displacement, and other potential problems.
So what's the takeaway here?
AI's history is a story of progress, setbacks, and reinvention. It's a field that's constantly evolving, and it's shaping our world in profound ways.
So it's not just robots and sci-fi movies?
Not at all. It's about understanding how machines can learn, reason, and solve problems, and how we can use that power responsibly.
That's a really cool perspective. What about the different approaches to AI throughout history? Like how did they differ?
Early AI focused heavily on symbolic reasoning, trying to program in explicit rules. Later, we shifted to statistical methods and machine learning, which learn from data. Deep learning is the latest iteration, using very deep neural networks to learn complex patterns.
So it's like a progression of ideas building in each other?
Exactly. Each approach had its strengths and weaknesses, and the field has learned from both successes and failures.
And what about the AI winters? What caused those?
Often, it was a combination of overpromising, limitations in computing power, and the inherent difficulty of some AI problems. But these winters also spurred innovation and led to new approaches.
So even the setbacks help move things forward. That's a pretty inspiring thought. Thanks for this fascinating discussion.